Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're finally covering the third season of Sonic X that was not available on Netflix.
This season truly goes anime as Chris returns to see Sonic and his friends after nearly a decade. But when he arrives, he must help his friends and even Eggman defeat a new threat, the Metarax, from destroying the universe.
Yes. So before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification for updates on future podcasts and multi-pause videos.
Yes. Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
So we start. If you've seen our other podcasts, we started watching this show on Netflix. Of course, I had seen it years ago on TV when it was airing, but never saw the end of it, especially most of season 3. So we expected them to add the whole series on Netflix, but they only added the first 2 seasons. So for a while we just watched those, and then that was it. Until I went on YouTube and saw that they actually allowed all 3 seasons up.
Yes.
So we were able to finally finish the series on YouTube.
Yes, finally. So it was just as exciting as the first 2. The animation was a little different.
Yeah.
But it still kept where you felt like you were watching the same series.
Right. They tried to update a little more because they had more abstract looking villains. They weren't the cutesy little animal ones they had for Sonic. They actually had ones that looked like something out of Transformers this time. And the Metarax actually didn't even feel like they were from Sonic. They're like from a whole nother show.
True. What was really weird is seeing Chris, who was supposed to be 18, still looking 10. And as Rascal kept saying, it's weird not seeing him act stupid. He was acting like an adult, but he was in this kid's body.
Right.
And he was giving him good ideas and direction and everything. So it was really weird not seeing him whine and trick Sonic so he couldn't go home and all these things he did the first 2 seasons. He's a man.
Right? Yes, because they actually show
He's a real man.
They actually show you what he looks like in the beginning. They show you what's going on with Sonic, and they immediately jump into like this new threat. And they go to Earth and they show you what Chris looks like. He and his friends have pretty much grown up, and he's been working on a way to go see Sonic again all these years. So he creates a machine that lets him go back to the planet. But the time works differently between Earth and Sonic's planet. So for the human years, it's been like almost a decade, but for Sonic, it's only been a few months. So when he goes there, he's back to being how he was in the beginning of the series.
That was the explanation.
Right. And it was funny because, like you said, then he acted totally different. So I was like, man, why'd you act like the first 2 seasons? It would have been a little more different.
But the good thing was, with the difference in his behavior, of course, his age, he was much more helpful, and they really missed him when it was time for him to leave. Even Dr. Eggman liked him.
Right.
So you know it was an improvement.
Right.
And then they had a little ship with Tails and Cosmo.
Yes.
Which was really cute.
Yeah, so it was funny. They said, oh, that's strange. Usually animals and plants don't get along. It's like, when did this plot point come up in Sonic the Hedgehog? I know plants and animals are at war with each other, but okay. It was actually funny. They were trying to build up more with it because they only so much to go off of for the video games since they don't have a lot of lore. So it was good to see they were trying to build up something specifically for the anime.
Definitely. And this got also darker than the first 2 seasons with what was going on and the action and everyone trying to kill everyone literally.
Right! And then you had Shadow, who you didn't know what happened to him.
Poor Shadow.
And then he came back, he lost his memory, so he was sort of back to being this, you're not sure if he's a good guy or a bad guy. So it was sort of like hit and miss with it. You weren't sure which side he was on. So
and he wasn't showing you his ultimate power.
Right.
No, it was weird.
Yeah. And then he was going after Cosmo in one episode, but he refused to tell you why. He literally said, I'm not going to tell you why.
And you never find out, and well, that's not true, you never find out, but you find out almost at the end of the series. They really delay it until almost the end. Right,
and then they show you how the Metarax became these powerful warlords. They tell you why they want to take over the universe. They get a whole backstory on Cosmo, how is she somehow connected to them. They actually do try to put some more lore in it, and they try to make up some things, and for the most part, they did pretty well. Yeah. Some of their actions were like, okay, you're an idiot, but you know, they were not a joke. They had one character that was a joke, when it was one that was like a Zekrom, I think, and he just wanted to show his strength. He was the resident idiot. Right. But other than that, all of the Metarax were actually very intelligent, threatening villains, so bad even Eggman didn't want to screw with them.
Yes. And I do like that you couldn't figure out what was going to happen and what the reason was they wanted to take Cosmo out. And when you do find out, it was actually an interesting backstory. And you find out that she truly did grow to see them as friends and care about them, and she didn't want to hurt them, and they didn't want her to get hurt and be let go. And then unfortunately there wasn't a happy ending. There truly nothing in here was a happy ending, unfortunately. No. Yeah, it was the most, for me, one of the most disappointing endings of an animated show I had never seen, anime or animated. It was just disappointing. Nothing went the way you wanted. Nothing happened that you wanted to happen. People got taken out you didn't want taken out. Well, one bright spot I would say is that in this version you saw that Dr. Eggman just likes the competition with Sonic and his friends. He really didn't want them dead.
Yes, there was an episode where Metarax actually tricked Cosmo, captured her and Chris, and they're going to experiment on him, and Sonic was about to lose it and go crazy on them until Eggman came in and told him to calm down. That's not you. And told him Metarax you better let him go because, you know, we like to fight them, but I would never kill them. That's too far. So, it was almost like a Team Rocket moment there.
Yes.
They're not that bad villains.
And speaking in Team Rocket, shout out. I love how when we first watched this, and you're just reminded of this time, we watched OKKO, and the robots that the villain had in OKKO were nothing but a direct shout out to the two robots that Dr. Eggman had here.
Right.
Well, all three of them. And we didn't know it until we watched this, and we were like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that's Daryl and that's whatever the other one's name is. That's the exact same robot. So it was great how Ian Quarty did, Jones, right?
Yeah.
Did a shout out to this series in OKKO.
Yeah.
And in here, they're not as stupid as they were in OKKO. But all I could think of every time they came up was OKKO and how I just said.
Yeah.
But this was a good third season, and it was worth the wait. I just, again, would have wished for
better
happier endings for everyone.
Yeah.
No one in here got a not happy ending. Not Tails, not Cosmo, not Sonic, not Chris, not even Eggman.
Right. The only thing that happened is, like, you know, that the universe wasn't going to be destroyed. That's pretty much the best thing that happened in there, and that's really it.
I wish maybe they had found a way to do, as we have mentioned, a movie so we could see Chris on Earth and what was going on, and maybe a wrap up that would have been a better cleanup for the series.
Right.
But it never
and
happened.
we don't know if there was like a missing episode or deleted scenes, because we know that at the time this came on 4Kids TV, so they only had the copy for YouTube where they cut out some things, like they couldn't show Shadow punching Chris, they couldn't show people hugging for whatever reason, because of Sega's rules. They couldn't show things that they thought were not appropriate for American audiences or kids. So there might have been a scene or something, like an after credit scene, and they just weren't allowed to show it. It's definitely possible.
It's possible. Guys, if you know if that is true, let us know in the comments below. Now, if you've seen Sonic X Season 3 or 1 and 2, let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you happy with the ending? Unlike us,
Right.
wish there was another season or
and
a special movie.
Yeah, and people were actually, for a while, I remember years ago when this stuff was online, people were hoping there would be a Season 4. They could include some characters from the, at the time, recent games, like with Silver or other characters introduced newly in the game. They could add them to the anime. So, who knows if they'll actually do it or not. I doubt it, since, you know, Sega's
the live action movies now.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. I don't think.
Now,
if you haven't seen Sonic X any seasons, you can watch seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix, as we mentioned. It's also available on Prime, or you can watch it for free on YouTube, and let us know what you think in the comments below.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and notification updates on future podcasts and Roller Paws videos.
Absolutely.
For our possum family.
Yes, and if you are watching it on YouTube, don't forget every episode you watch to give a like to the person's video, and maybe even subscribe to the channel, because this is awesome that people are able to put these things up for us to enjoy free of charge. So don't forget to give them support, and thank you, and some love.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace. Gotta go fast.